look me in the eye. It's all because of Jesus, he the reason I'm alive. I live by faith, by grace, you know that I ain't gotta strive. They told me, tone it down.
Yo, good morning.
Yo.
Welcome to this Sippin on 7th Saturday morning broadcast. We're going to cover a lot of stuff today. Where do you start? It's been quite the week.
It has. You know, today's going to be a big day. Lots of big things going on. We're going to talk a little bit of Rays, about their pitcher situation. We're going to go into the Lightning and Avs final series.
And Jared's going to do a whole speech because my birthday was this week. He's going to do a whole speech for all you to hear about how much he loves me.
I was going to get into
a guy
it.
He is.
We're going to do trivia. We're going to do top 5. And then, obviously, once we're done recording this, we're going to go do a Cuban review.
Yep.
We're going to go to Bricados today because people have been asking for it. And big news, we have our very first channel sponsor.
So do. This is awesome.
That'll be for the Cuban review. So that'll be cool. You guys will see that later. I like that picture, but we need to cover up basketball.
So in case you guys are wondering what happened here, we got this image to use, got the rights to this image, and me in my, semi-tired state didn't realize when we got it that it was for the SEC men's basketball tournament at Amalie. So we're actually going to be at Amalie tonight on this Saturday night, June 18th, to watch the second game of the series against Colorado. So if you're going to be there, if you see this in time,
Game 2 watch party.
come say what's up to us. We'll be at the watch party at Amalie. So I guess let's get into it.
Let's do it. Ryan, first I want to talk to you about Shane McClanahan for the Tampa Bay Rays. And,
Shocked.
I've watched him throughout the year and been, pretty impressed with the stuff that the guy has. I didn't know that he was leading the league in strikeouts. And just this past week, a few days ago, he crossed over as the first to reach 100 strikeouts and leads the MLB with 105 strikeouts. On top of that, he has an ERA of 1.84.
Oh, my gosh.
That's 5th in the MLB. So he leads in strikeouts, 5th in earned run average, and the dude's a machine. And really, I was thinking about it because whenever we talked about Shane McClanahan, because it's cool, he went to USF, and you would say, I would say, Shane, he's the number one guy. He's their ace. And then you would say, no, but we always have Glass now once he comes back from rehab and whatever. And I agreed with that, but now I'm not even sure.
Well, wait a minute. Now,
if Glasnow is your number 2 pitcher, Glasnow is amazing. Tyler Glasnow's great guy.
He's my favorite pitcher.
He's very good, and he's been very locked down, and he throws absolute gas, but so does Shane McClanahan.
Well, and Shane's got some absolutely disgusting 2-strike pitches.
Yeah, he's filthy. He knows how to work tunneling. Do you know about baseball tunneling?
As far as working the box?
It's a newer concept where you take your fastball, your 2-seam, your slider, and then you tunnel them together where the ball out of the hand looks the same and then will break off this way or break off this way.
I was going to say it remains in a path, but then also if because I thought, can it not refer to you have your your pitch tunnel and then you break outside to bring it back into the box?
That's just like a backdoor slider.
Yeah, that's
not. I mean, the concept of tunneling is setting up multiple pitches in a row that are different pitches, but setting up the hitter's eyes in the tunnel.
So then you break the ball outside, and then
that's when you get these MLB batters looking ridiculous at the plate.
Yeah.
It's because, they just got
swinging at something way out there.
98 2-seam, 98 2-seam, and then the same pitch. It looks the same, but it comes in from a slightly different spot, but it's in the same path, and then we'll break in, and now it's a 92-mile-per-hour slider that just goes into the dirt, and they swing like an idiot.
I'm not going to say that
hitting in the MLB has to be one of the hardest things to do in sports.
I was actually going to say that MLB pitchers have to be one of the most impressive performers. I don't want to say athletes because it's not as athletic maybe as some other sports, but you have quarterbacks in the NFL. Hockey's a little different because it's such a team effort. You can't put there's not singular, maybe Vassy. So you have goalies in the NHL, quarterbacks in the NFL, and pitchers in the MLB. What's the most impressive of those three things? And they're all incredible. But to be able to do that now, how they've mastered pitching, and then they changed framing, right? When I was a catcher growing up, it wasn't a start, dropped, and pull up into the frame. It was just rounding.
You were just to the center, yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't just a grab and pull. It was you tried to round with your wrist so that you'd be able to bring it back in, make it look like you were kind of accommodating the direction of the ball.
And then now it's all about that fluid motion from down to boop, and then you catch it. You could catch it low, and then because of the motion, you finish here, and then now you make it a strike.
I mean, catchers are incredible too, but man, watching some of these pitchers throw, it's art.
Speaking of catchers, this coming up Tuesday is Mike Zunino Florida Man bobblehead night.
And we will be there.
It's the most Florida thing that it could possibly be.
Can't miss it.
As somebody that's from Florida, I love that.
Can't miss it,
the fact that
man.
I don't remember what city, but he grew up in Florida and grew up as a Florida boy. Then went to UF and played baseball, and now plays for the Rays. And the bobblehead,
Dude is Florida.
He's wearing cutoff sleeve Rays jersey, jorts, backwards hat. There's a gator by his feet. That's a legendary bobblehead, and we're gonna go to the Trop.
It's against the Yankees, isn't it?
It is, yes. Well,
I have the schedule.
You said that, and you had the little mini schedule that we got today at the coffee shop. Sweet.
This, by the way, is a Rays schedule that I got at the Blind Tiger. Which is the coffee you see us drinking every Saturday morning. But love the Blind Tiger, but they gave me this schedule here this morning.
I thought they just played the Yankees because they got swept by them.
We did.
Sure.
So we played the Yankees the 14th through the 16th, and we're playing them again at home the 20th through the 22nd. That has to be the closest back-to-back. No, because in July we play Boston the 4th through the 6th, and then we play them again the 11th through the 14th.
Yeah, sometimes the schedule happens like that.
That's
one home, one away.
It's the only time, though. None of the other teams do we play that close other than Boston and New York, which I'm totally cool with because those are probably the two teams
they're
I
a
hate
division
the most.
in division foes, so we play them more often than other people.
So, yeah, we'll be there Tuesday.
Man, the Yankees are so good this year. And
they're ridiculous.
Obviously, we don't like the Yankees. The Yankees stink.
Well, they're the most valuable sports organization in the entire world.
It is
the
true.
Yankees
We
are.
were
Over $7 billion.
Ryan sent me this thing yesterday about the statistic was something to the effect of in the world, 92 of the 100 most watched events last year was NFL games,
which blew my mind.
So I got curious and started doing some research. Obviously, the NFL is the most valuable organization in the world. They generated $18 billion in revenue last year. Their TV deals $110 billion over 11 years, not including the Amazon deal they did to stream Thursday nights exclusively.
$110 billion deal.
But then I started getting curious about what are these other teams in the world worth? And there's some big ones, obviously Dallas Cowboys, $6.5 billion is their valuation. You had Real Madrid.
Imagine if they had their own network.
$5.1 billion. But the Yankees are the most high-valued team in sports at $7 billion. And
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot. And obviously, if the rules in the NFL were a little bit different with the TV deal and the Dallas Cowboys had their own TV network like the Yankees did, then I'm sure they would pass that. But, I mean, that's pretty wild. But
that's why I don't understand why people argue they're not America's team.
Cowboys or the Cowboys?
The Cowboys. They're definitely America's team.
I've never heard anybody argue that they're not America's team.
No, well, I've heard people argue, when the Patriots were hot, that the Patriots were becoming America's team and blah, 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 stuff like that. Sorry, my wife was attacking her coffee cup. But anyway, we are going to be at that Tuesday night game, not just to get the bobblehead, but to watch the boys.
I'm going to get the bobblehead because you guys know watching baseball kind of stinks unless you're there in person.
At the Trop, it sucks.
But at the Trop, it's just bleh.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, hey, I'm taking you Tuesday night. We're going to the game. It's going to be lit. And then I thought about it, and I was like, never mind. It's going to be like taking you to jail to eat McDonald's or something like that on a date. But it's totally fine.
It's not that bad.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Literally, when we went to get food in the stadium, I felt like I was wandering in a lost desert looking for a water bottle. Then you get the water bottle, and it just has someone's piss in it.
The best is not on the corridor that goes around behind the batter's eye where the restaurants are, but the bottom outfield corridor.
Yeah.
Where there are concession stands down there. It feels like you're walking through a warehouse in a scary movie.
Yeah. No, it feels like someone could run out here. Chucky's going to run out the side of this thing and come get me.
If you're at a game where there's not a lot of people, which is quite
Every
often
game.
the case.
Other than the Yankees.
Yeah, I did go to a Yankees game probably a month ago at this point. It was for my little brother's birthday.
It
We
was
had to
packed,
get together.
right?
It wasn't, but they called it a sellout. Obviously, you can't have a sellout. Obviously, you can't have a sellout if all the seats in the whole top aren't open, which they did, by the way, for this. I believe that the Rays are opening up the third level.
Wait a minute. We can't go past this.
For $9 a piece.
You know that you suck as far as a stadium and an organization when you sell out the bottom and you have like 10,000 seats at the top and you don't even open the top and then you call it a sellout. You know who's a sellout? Stu Sternberg is a sellout. Since we're talking about sellout.
There has been a lot of progress. And Shane McClanahan, you're great. We'll talk about you another time, but you've been awesome.
Oh, my gosh, Shane.
Tyler Glass now. I think that whenever he comes back, I think that they might put him at the number 2 spot. If Shane McClanahan's having a Cy Young year right now, and if he's on pace to
let
be
him rock,
incredible,
boy. Let him rock.
Number 1 in strikeouts, number 5 ERA.
Yeah,
he's not number 1 in wins.
Is he going to
7 wins?
He's got to pitch Tuesday, right? Or
he pitched. What day did the Lightning play? Wednesday?
No.
When did Lightning play game 1?
Thursday.
Thursday. He pitched that day. So then.
No, it was Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday. It was Wednesday to Saturday,
Thursday,
and we were
Friday,
like, "Why is
Saturday,
this such a long?"
Sunday, Monday. Unless they had an off day. If they had a travel day in there, which you have the schedule, you could tell me. Then he probably will pitch Tuesday.
I can tell you. I think Sunday's a travel day.
Sunday's off.
Let me look here. No, there's no travel day.
No off days. Then Shane McClanahan will probably pitch Monday.
Monday in the opener.
And then we'll see. I don't know who they have the number 2 spot right now. The Rays are going through some injuries for sure.
Anyway, here's the deal. We will see you guys there on Tuesday.
Tuesday at bobblehead night.
Yankees game.
Come see us.
Hopefully, we will win against the Yankees.
Man, they're good.
They're a great team. But anyway, moving on. We're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about tonight. Which we're going to Emily to be at game 2, the watch party, but we're also going to just kind of recap game 1, quick 5-minute recap here of game 1. So going into game 1, I was pretty confident we were going to win against a lot of people's opinions because
you were confident.
Coming off 9 days of rest, I didn't think I got to be honest with you. The Avalanche blew me away, but I'll get that in a second. So coming off 9 days of rest, even though that's a Lightning thing to suck after rest.
It's a Lightning thing.
It is a big Lightning thing. However, after 9 days of rest in Colorado with contact high every time you go to the grocery store, I figured that the boys in Colorado would come out a little slow. But it was actually
what I love? I love that Tampa Bay Lightning fans are calling them Team REI.
If you've ever been to REI, though, it's not that big of an insult. It's kind of lit. But
REI is a nice store. Go there.
REI's
Midtown,
lit.
Del Mabry. Ryan, keep going. The game.
So the polar opposite happened. The Avalanche came out so quick and efficient.
Which is what I thought was going to happen.
That's what I would have expected if it was either a regular season game or it was like not 9 days of rest. If they had come off a 7-game series or 6-game series and we had swept somebody, then I'd expected, to be honest, the game went how I would have expected it, at least in the first period, if it was the opposite situation. If we had 9 days of rest,
it was
and they
exactly
had
what
4,
I expected, but totally different.
It was the polar opposite because they came out so quick, so efficient in their passing. We had a lot of turnovers, really sloppy in the first, so then we go down.
It was bad.
The first period was really bad.
What was the score at the end of the first? 1-3, 0-3?
No, it was 1-3 at the end of the first. And then,
which I'll say after the fact. That's what I said the final score was going to be.
Me too.
I said it for the Avs, though.
I said it was for the Bolts because I'm a real fan. Okay. And I believe against believing, which is what the Bible says.
We'll see when we get to trivia later because you got slapped last time. So we'll see what happens.
I did. We didn't post. Have we posted that one yet?
No, it's going up next week.
Maybe I'll accidentally delete it. Nobody will ever have to know unless you go watch the full broadcast.
I saved it to the cloud.
So we go into the second. We come out with a different energy going in the second, and then we score 2 goals back to back with like 90 seconds separating them.
It was like 40 seconds.
It was nasty. It was disgusting. Yeah. And the pass by Kucherov was probably top 5 Lightning assists of the playoffs.
It was gross. The move that he made and then the pass that he made right to the slot, right on, who was it, Palat's stick?
Yeah.
And it was literally an inch away from being blocked by the defenseman. Perfect tape to tape, and then boom, deflection into the goal.
Well, to be that skilled, but then know when to go for the assist because it's wide open right there in the slot. shows a lot of humility in Cooch. It's about winning. It's not about individual performance. And that's kind of a hockey thing. That's something we've complimented them on a lot. This is the best team in
team
hockey.
Play. I wonder where they're at now as far as how many different guys on the roster have a point in the playoffs.
Oh, my gosh. Probably.
It was like 13 in the first round.
18. Probably 18.
18 would make sense.
But anyway, so we come out second, 2 back-to-back, tied at 3 apiece. And then from there on, the game is a battle. It's like you would have expected it in any series. It's a fight. We get into – we thought for sure the Lightning would score with like 60 seconds left because that's been a pattern for them when they're tied in the third period. Like Palat was going to like 5 seconds left like he did, in the Panthers series or whatever. But didn't happen. Go to overtime. And we both realized we're not going to win this game going into overtime because Colorado – is such a dangerous, quick offensive team. He even made a joke. He's like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Avalanche scored 10 seconds into overtime, which is almost what happened.
It wasn't that fast because they did kill off Pat Maroon's penalty that he had for delay of game. Whenever there was two really times at the end of the game, towards the end of the game, where I had some confidence. Whenever they had that last power play and they were getting a lot of shots on goal, I thought they were going to go up 4-3 then. And then, obviously, with Andre Palat's like Mr. Playoff with under 60 seconds to go, and they still had some good looks then, even on the penalty kill, which that was tough. And they went into the overtime with like 20-something seconds left on the penalty kill. They kill it off. And then just immediately they go to make a rush, and Sergachev just gives a terrible giveaway right at the
I called that,
line.
though, in the game. I was like, Sergei gave them a goal in regular time. And then we went to overtime, and the moment the puck went to Sergei, I was like, this is it. He's going to either just – I don't want to insult him too much. He's a great hockey player, but I feel like this whole playoff series, he almost cost us the game against the series against the Maple Leafs. Like, I can't believe how many
rough,
times. It's like, bro.
He's my favorite player. I got to defend him.
I mean, he single-handedly won us.
Yes.
One of the games against the Rangers, though. I think it was Game 3,
they should
which
have
is
gave
really
him that
important.
second goal. I know it went off Palat, but it wasn't a deflection.
Well, I don't think hockey's like that. It's not like sympathetic. Like,
no,
he deserves it.
No sympathy.
Rudy. Yeah, like we'll give him the goal because he shot it. Anyway, Hedman had a great opportunity, actually, with probably 30, 40 seconds left. Great open slap shot, which was fast, obviously, probably 96 with a one-timer. Just didn't go in, so we go to overtime. And the Avalanche won the game. Something I did want to highlight would have started with this if it was a little more impactful, but Braden Point is finally back playing hockey.
He got a point.
He did get a point. Braden Point had a point, but Pointer's back. He looked like he was progressively throughout the game getting some cobwebs off of him. Obviously, he was, I think 2 days before that was the first time he actually skated with the team. In practice.
Yeah, 'cause he had been doing like private.
He'd been doing private sessions, and we watched him slip and run into the boards in the private session. We were like,
during the Ranger series.
Braden's probably not coming back. But anyway, he's back. I think what it does more than anything is give the Lightning like a steroid injection going into this series. It's he's the fastest guy on the team, which you need against the Avalanche, who are the fastest team. Probably.
Last thing about Game 1 before we go on to tonight, I was happy at the end of the game, because I thought it was going to be worse than it was, and the Lightning played well. No, I wasn't. It's just, over the past 2 cup runs, the Lightning have, I don't exactly remember, but I think they've been 500 in Game 1s.
I think it's worse.
And then
they
get substantially better as they go on, and so does Vasi. There was even a stat about the wins and goals allowed during Game 1 of a series versus the rest of them, and it's almost like Coop plans, hey, just go play, and we're going to throw some different stuff at them and see what they do and how they respond, and then we'll come up with a game plan for the rest of the series.
Well, what we found
the fact that they played as good as they did, took it to overtime, had a chance to win it, after having that terrible first period, I was happy with it.
What we found out was, especially in the second, is that their goalies cannot handle pressure. Period. Yeah, if you put a lot of shots on goal.
What's his name? Kemper?
Kemper started to fall apart.
Little spastic.
And to be honest with you, I actually thought his performance going through the game was going to cost him the game, because when you build a 2-goal lead in hockey, what they call the most dangerous or the scariest lead in hockey, to allow 2 goals in less than a minute as a goalie is pretty embarrassing. And they weren't spectacular goals. I mean, one of them was pretty good, but it wasn't like, wow. I mean, any playoff goalie should be able to handle at least one of those. So
What's his name? Mike Smith? He had some terrible goals allowed for the Oilers.
Yeah, but Mike Smith is almost in a wheelchair. They're going to put him in a home afterwards. He's like the oldest goalie in the NHL.
Can you imagine being 41 years old and doing that to your knees?
No, I can't. I'm in my 20s. I have no idea what that would feel like. I can't imagine that doing now. I can't imagine doing that right now, you know. But anyway, so that's the series. We're in game 1 down. Tonight is going to be game 2. We're excited to see what happens tonight. I think we're going to win tonight. I think we figured out a couple things that are important. I bet Pointer's going to score tonight. I'm calling it first. Braden's going to get himself one. I think it's going to be off a great assist, but it's going to be a goal that's going to kind of shift the momentum, which we'll keep in the series. So
I'm just excited to be at Amalie tonight.
Come see us.
It'll be good to be there at the watch party. I've actually never been to one inside of the arena before.
Me neither.
So
I don't know if it's going to be like super exciting or super lame, but we'll let you guys know for sure. What's his name? Greg, I think his
the MC
Instagram handles like at Greg33 or something like that. And we're going to see him tonight over there at Amalie. And he's posting stuff. Apparently it's lit. He does the announcements and they have the whole thing like it's a real game. So
a lot of the people down there on the ice and stuff, and it'll be good.
I bet Thunderbug will be there because it's the mascot day was yesterday, National Mascot Day.
It was.
So we may try to get a picture with him, see what we can do. Anyway, moving right along to the most important topic of this video, the thing that matters the most, the thing that we never should have even talked anything else about before. Thursday was my birthday. And obviously, Jared has a long speech prepared that he wanted to do. He's already done it to me privately, and I was very thankful. But it's time for the public confession of his love on this broadcast to celebrate my 25th birthday, which we're kind of going to celebrate tonight. But you got it, Jerry. You just say whatever you.
Obviously, you know I'm incredibly long-winded when it comes to things like this.
That's right. The dude won't shut up.
It's great to know that your birthday is one day before Nikita Kucherov's.
Kucherov.
So as of right now, Kuch's birthday was yesterday. Ryan's was 2 days ago.
How old do you think he is?
28, 29.
I think he's 28. No, he's 29.
One of those two.
Yeah,
maybe
I
he
think
turned
he's
29 yesterday.
Congratulations, Cooch, when you see this. when you sit down in all your free time.
We'll translate it into Russian.
I was going to do a fake Russian, but I know these people know people, so I'm not even going to try.
That's a valid point. But no, it was your birthday.
We love Russians.
Tonight's going to be great.
Hockey is the great dissolver of any Cold War because it's like half our team's made up of incredible Russians, so we freaking love Russian people. No question about it.
Yes.
I love Russian people.
Speaking of which, I had an idea just now of what we're going to do after lunch. We're going to come here, and we're going to watch Miracle on Ice because you haven't seen it.
Yeah, but to watch Miracle on Ice and then just go watch hockey on the TV screen, like that'd be a great movie to watch before you go to the game. Like before we went, because since we're going to Game 6 of this Colorado Avalanche series at home, which is the game we're going to win the series, compliments to our sponsors. But our sponsor is Jesus. But when we're at that game, what you do is you watch Miracle before then, and then you actually go to this big fancy game where it's like the pressure's on, your heart rate's, your blood pressure's up to like 1,000 over 5. I don't actually know blood pressure, but
not 1,000 over 5.
If we watch it and then we just go to dinner, I'm going to be at dinner like crying, talking about,
No, bro, it's not an emotional movie like you love to watch.
True or false?
It's a sports movie.
Was it? I believe it was 1990. It's a story about the Cold War, right? Isn't that the hockey teams brought? I mean,
it was the 1980
how do you expect me not to get
Winter
emotional
Olympics. Then? It was amazing. To very quickly before you go on, it's a cool story.
I asked him to talk about my birthday, and he's going to tell you guys about a movie.
Yeah, well, so not a movie. It's a real story. This happened.
Don't tell me about it though, because I haven't seen the movie, and I don't actually know the whole story.
Okay, I won't tell you what happens,
All right,
but I'll tell you. Going into it, it was.
So I can't hear you.
This Russian, the Soviet Union team was like incredible. They had just beaten the NHL All-Star team like 8-0 or something like that.
I didn't know that. That's so bad. Was that Gretzky years?
I think he was there then. Definitely mid-'80s was Gretzky.
So he was young. He was young Gretzky.
Young Gretzky.
Got pounced. He probably wasn't in the All-Star though.
Why not?
By then?
He came in and was a star.
Well, then maybe
Sidney
he was
Crosby.
there.
and Ovechkin, they were like in the All-Star their
It'd
first
be
year.
cool
pretty
to
sure.
hear them talk about what it was like to. They probably can't talk too much about it, but what their experience was like on the ice with these guys, like what the talk was, like were the Russians like.
Well, they kind of get into it a little bit in the movie, and then I've actually watched the game itself, and you could see it a little bit. But obviously, these guys speak Russian, and the other guys speak English.
That's true. They can't even talk to each other.
And it's this team that's crushing the NHL All-Star team, and then they use like college athletes that didn't make it yet into the NHL or other things, and then they put this team together,
wow.
and now they have to go play the Olympics. After this, though, they started using pros in the Olympics from the NHL.
Oh, I was gonna say because you can use pros now.
Yeah, it was this. Obviously, the Winter Olympics just passed a little bit ago, and they did not use NHL players except for guys that were not on the NHL roster. Like I think Zegras played in it.
Yeah, but that's because the NHL announced they would, as an organization, would not participate in the Olympics.
Correct. And it had to deal with, like, there was crazy things with the Olympics. Like, if you went over there, where was it at? Was it in Beijing?
It was in Hong Kong, I think.
No, it wasn't Hong Kong.
Was it Beijing?
Beijing, I think.
We're looking here at our live audience. We have no complete answers, but
we're gonna go.
a couple
we're gonna
head
go,
nods at
We're gonna go
Beijing.
Beijing because they had the Summer Olympics there in like 2008.
Well, I thought because that's what I remember. I didn't think they would do that
Right.
again, but
So, if you were playing for Team USA in whatever sport that it was, and you competed and you broke your leg on day one, and you require surgery, you couldn't leave China
Right.
until the whole team was ready to go back to America.
right.
So because of that, in the NHL, where injuries happen quite often, they said, no, we can't risk like our athletes and our players, our assets to the league of going over there and that happening and not be able to make it back. And who knows what could happen from some kind of complication. So that's
Well,
why
there's
the NHL
that,
said no.
and then if you sneeze, they lock you in a closet for 2 months. So that it's like bifold.
They
Don't
did
send
do
those
that.
guys over there. What was it? The girls, one of the girls' teams. Exactly what you're talking about. She got injured and they wouldn't let her come home, so she had to sit there with like a broken bone for
I
like
think it
3
was
weeks.
from the women's hockey team.
Yeah, she was like severely injured and couldn't come home for a long time. And those types of things can cost someone their entire career playing in pro sports. So the NHL knew with the financial investment we make in these players, we cannot send them over there to be stranded if they break a bone. Not that we're saying we hate China or disagree with anything. It's just it was a decision by the NHL. So we didn't participate. But
Business move. So
before
Miracle
that, before
on
pro
ice.
players could play.
We're going to watch it today.
And Jared's going to sit there and,
It's
pause
gonna
it to
be
tell me
great.
the story.
Let's move on to what are we doing first? We're going to do trivia or
I
top
think
5?
no. I think we should do our top 5 first and end on trivia because when I beat you in trivia, I want to keep the momentum going.
Oh, you want
for
to
the
try to
day.
end on a high note. What
Wanna-
happens when you lose?
I'll cry myself to sleep in.
All right,
night.
you first or me first?
I think you should go first.
Okay, so Kaitlyn is going to introduce what our top 5 thing of the day is.
Are we ready?
You
Ready.
are phenomenal.
Okay. Who wants to go first? Did we already say? Jared's going first. Okay. All right, top 5. Jared's going first. Jared, here's your question.
All right.
What are the top 5 Tampa Bay area neighborhoods?
I like it.
Define neighborhood.
Areas
Like
of
actual
living.
community or okay, areas of living. The places to live. Top
Not
5
like-
places to live
Like
in
Yeah.
Tampa.
not gated community.
Yeah,
area.
Right, because you say neighborhood, but so top 5
not
places
saying,
to
like,
live.
Timbers.
Like if you're familiar with the area, like Panther Trace and Riverview is not going to be on this list.
Right.
Right.
But that is like an area and a not a gated community, but like a community.
Okay, let's just say
Honorable
top
mention.
5 areas of Tampa Bay to live.
Honorable mention. You know what I'm talking about.
to live.
First, honorable mention. It's not in Tampa, Sarasota, but it's sponsor of Amelie.
I'm gonna guess Lakewood Ranch.
That's right,
But
Lakewood
that's
Ranch.
Not in Sarasota.
Where's it at?
It's in Lakewood Ranch.
Well, but it's down near Sarasota.
It's like east of there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not Tampa, but that's an honorable mention. They actually modeled it after the Woodlands, Texas, very
It is.
closely, and it's a very, very, I don't know.
It is great. They
prominent
developed.
community.
It's like a city made to be a neighborhood, though. and it feels very much like that. I like Lakewood Ranch.
It's a neighbor
It would
city.
take an hour and a half to get to Tampa, probably with traffic.
So top 5
My top
places
5
to live in Tampa.
This is based on my personal experience, so not like factual.
Now, you do quite a bit in the community as far as housing and different things. So your
do-
opinion should be heard.
I do real estate, and I drive a lot in these areas, and I've been in a lot of houses in these areas, spent a lot of time in these places, and this is just like my taste and what I like. Obviously, there's some great neighborhoods that I'm not going to mention, but these are the ones that really stick out to me. Usually I do in no particular order, but I think this is in a particular order, and I'll go 1 to 5.
Wow.
You're going to start at the top?
Should I start at the bottom?
No. Start at the bottom.
Start at the bottom.
Okay.
Build
I'll start
us
at the
up
bottom.
to your favorite.
Okay, well, I'll do honorable mention first then.
Okay.
My honorable mention is Tierra Verde. Tierra Verde, if you don't
a good
know,
one.
is an island that's like at the southern tip of Pinellas County. And, like sometimes when you're by the beach and it looks touristy,
Yes.
I hate that. And this is, Tierra Verde is not that. And that's why I like it. Very nice houses, very beautiful. Was working on doing a deal down there, and then it was a very complicated situation for the owner of the property, so we ended up not doing it. But we went into this house, and it was absolutely incredible and beautiful, and you can see the water. Tierra Verde is a great honorable mention. Number 5 is Riverside Heights. So Riverside Heights, if you don't know, I'm not going to get you the exact streets properly, but I think we're north of MLK, west of like Tampa Street, but then east of the river. So there's like where the Hillsborough River goes really far west when it loops around like this, and there's that gap of land there. That's Riverside Heights. That's where they're building all of like, I don't like these houses that they're building, so this is like why it's lower on my list. They build all like the futuristic boxy looking houses.
Yeah.
Which
I know
I-
you don't like those.
Which I personally don't like.
I
I've
think
seen a
it's-
couple
it's-
of them that are okay, but some of them are absolutely ridiculous, and then they sell them for like $2 million.
Yeah.
So that would be my reasoning why it's lower on the list, but great area. In my opinion, one of the most beautiful parts of the Hillsborough River that it's on. Very nice, Riverside Heights. Number 4 is Seminole Heights. Specifically, yeah, and I think people have a misconception of what Seminole Heights is.
Ever since the serial killer, I'm sure.
That was a thing. It's just like, I don't want to go in because I'm going to talk about another area later, but when people say Ybor City,
I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it.
They actually don't know what the boundaries of what it is. If something is like 22nd and Lake, that's not Ybor City, but yet if a crime happens there, then now they call that Ybor City. I think it's a little bit of what happened with Seminole Heights. It was going on in old Seminole Heights, not Seminole Heights, and people can get the two mixed up for sure. But specifically the area in Seminole Heights where, do you know that the Publix on Nebraska, when you're going north and it looks like old-timey retro on the east side of the road? Where that's at. I think we're like Hannah in Nebraska.
Okay.
That area. And there's an old-timey Publix. It was actually the first building in the world to have automatic sliding doors.
Oh,
that
wow.
building. Publix invented automatic sliding doors because they wanted it to be like Star Trek.
Shout out Publix.
Started in Winter Haven, Florida. Shout out Polk County. But just south of there, like 1 block in east, there's a little tiny lake. I can never remember what the name of it is, but there's a lake, and then the houses around this lake, and every house in this neighborhood for a couple blocks has the Seminole Heights flag, and it's like, wow, this is a community within Tampa that has really set themselves apart by the standard to what they, with no HOA, they're making their houses continue to be amazing. No
That's
crap
good.
going on. Seminole Heights is great, especially that part by that little lake. I'll figure out what it's called later. Number 3 is historic Ybor City. And, it's if you're saying top places to live, some people might say, oh, well, that'd be crazy to live in Ybor City. But I think people have a limited knowledge in actually what Ybor City is. Yes, and actually I was down in Ybor City last night at my office.
And this morning.
Yes, and I was there until like 2 a.m, and it was crazy. And I was back there at 7:30 or whatever it was, and we went and got coffee this morning.
Shout out to Blind Tiger.
2 very different places from Friday night to Saturday morning for sure. But if you're a couple of blocks off 7th Avenue either way, yes, the cost of living is higher because of the area. But the character that everything comes with there.
The history.
Just like, that's like my taste. I like historical things and learning about it. So then to be able to live in a place like that where I've probably spent more time in Ybor City than anywhere else in Tampa just because I work there. So I've gotten to see all sides of it and really have learned to appreciate it. Just south, I think it's on like 4th Avenue, maybe 4th, 5th Avenue. There's some great spots where there's some good townhouses, right. Condo houses. There's like some quadplexes and things like that.
I think you're right about the misconception because it's kind of like if you say Chicago. There's a misconception you're going to get shot going to Walmart by 12 people. You know, you'll be like Swiss cheese by the time you get back with your groceries. Well, there are very, very nice parts of Chicago that you would love to. It'd be awesome to live in certain parts of Chicago. And Ybor's the same way. You know, you say Ybor City, people think 7th. That's what they think. They think 7th Avenue. That's all they think about.
And they think
drugs and
Prana
parties and
Tangra
Prana and you know,
show bar and all the craziness that goes on.
Which obviously that is there, but you like you said, you move a couple streets in either direction. Obviously, if you continue on 7th, you go all the way west. You hit a very, very great part of Tampa. So it's like, it's not.
Not even for much further. If you take 7th,
it's a mile and a half.
Go west, you're hitting Armature Works in 5 minutes.
Exactly. So it's like people act like that expansion is not going to touch Ybor. Well, of course it will. And there's a lot going on with that. I read an article about some guy, who's doing a lot in Ybor City and stuff like that. So Ybor is gonna see a lot of development too. So it's also a great place.
A lot of change coming soon.
A lot of great place to live as far as investment too, because Ybor is going to be such a development in the years to come.
Man, if you could have bought something in Ybor City in 2017,
you'd be a millionaire. Anything.
I've done a lot of research on houses and stuff like that with different projects that we work on, and I would see houses that were sold in 2017 for less than $20,000, and now they're worth over $300,000. How does that happen?
That has to be one of the highest.
Insane.
In 5
that would be
years
like
turnover.
if Detroit suddenly became awesome, and then now everything skyrocketed.
Or Pittsburgh or any of the kind of trashy cities in America.
Pittsburgh is nice, bro.
Bro, Pittsburgh. When I was in Pittsburgh, now this was like 2014.
I could see if you were saying like a couple of other places, but Pittsburgh's nice.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Pittsburgh.
All right, number 2 on my list is Palma Sierra. Palma Sierra is in South Tampa, and it is like the area around the Palma Sierra like golf and country club or whatever the actual name is.
Which is a very, very premier.
Don't quote me on the exact numbers because I'm not a member there, but something to the effect of it's like $50,000 or $60,000 a year to be a member there, and then you have to spend another $50,000 or $60,000 throughout the year, or they charge it to you anyways.
Yeah, you're talking about a 6-figure country club in Tampa, which is.
So then the area around that I like because it's like. It's not regular Florida houses where everything's the same. It's a lot of individualized houses, brick roads, really nice and beautiful. And then my number 1 on the list is Davis Island. Davis Island is my personal favorite place in Tampa. It is beautiful. You know, I know like the hospital's on like the most northern point of it, so most people have been to at least there. And that was my experience with Davis Island until I don't even remember how it happened, but I was just like, I'm going to go drive around here. And some of the most beautiful houses that are in Tampa, and you're on an island on the water. We've actually gone bike riding together there around the island.
It's one of my favorite things that we did because like what I hate about Florida from a real estate perspective is that, well, even Tampa specifically, is that the typical Florida stucco home, same layout. You go in a neighborhood, they're all the same. I hate that. So Davis Island, every single house is like a piece of art. Even old ones from the,
and they treat
from
it like
the 70s or 80s, they're like style wise, they've really brought in a unique. So every house you can stop and just look at it. And so when you bike instead of drive, I loved biking. When you bike, you're forced to enjoy just the wonder of every individual family, every home. Not that we're just riding by looking at people's. I mean, we kind of.
But there are like families like they have golf carts and they're riding around the island and they're doing on walks with their dogs.
It's such a great, because anyone who lives there is in your same financial class. So like it's nothing
against if you're not.
No, not that. No, but I'm just saying that when you drive around on a golf cart, like I'm sure there's a lot of common characteristics of people in that same neighborhood. So there's a lot of kind of common fellowship that you get there. You see a lot of families like waving at you when you go by, and you're like, why are you waving? Like you go to other neighborhoods, ain't nobody trying to wave at me. You go to certain places. I'm just being honest. Like you go to Robles Park, ain't nobody trying to wave at me. You go to Davis Island, everybody's happy. So
it definitely like brings back the southern hospitality aspect of the South that kind of gets lost in Tampa. That's in some other places, but it feels like even though you're in downtown Tampa, it has a small town vibe. Even though you're on an island with these giant houses on the water,
it's incredible.
So yep, that's my top 5: Davis Island, Palma Sierra, historic Ybor, Seminole Heights, and Riverside Heights.
So I think that's a great list, and I think that everyone who actually knows anything about Tampa Bay would agree with most of those. People have their opinions about different things.
Yeah, people are going to say stuff.
to argue with his top 5.
No. I definitely agree. I think
it's opinion based.
It's all opinion based.
Is Bayshore a neighborhood?
No, we redefined. It's areas to live.
Bayshore's a pretty good.
I disagree.
Well, that's fine.
The houses are very pretty, but
I guess
houses are
gets
pretty.
To pick.
It floods every time it rains or there's a
sucks.
hurricane.
Yeah.
That stinks.
That's true.
Everybody wants to drive by right in front of your house.
True.
Jeez.
Us.
You had us to go look. And then like all day, every day, anybody that wants to go work out and be seen working out is there running up and down the sidewalk. It is cool that it's like the longest continuous sidewalk in the world or whatever. But when I go to my house, like I want to have like Jared time and not have to worry about, hey, over the course of the next hour, like 1,000 people are going to run by my house. Past. And then there's all these cars flying up and down the road. You had the incident that happened a couple of years ago with that high school kid that now isn't going to be in jail for like 30 years or whatever.
Yeah, jeez.
I was actually going to bring that up, but yeah.
And I wouldn't consider it a neighborhood. I consider it a road where there happens to be on water and a lot of nice houses, but not a nice neighborhood to live in per se, unless that's what you want.
I think that's why Davis Island takes that place. It has the pretty houses and there is water obviously because it's an island, but it's more secluded.
Davis Island is like if you took Bayshore and then put on an island.
Yeah.
And then wrapped around the island and then put some really cool like local stores and DI coffee shop that we talked about last week during the coffee top 5. Like it's like Bayshore in a neighborhood. I would call Bayshore
even better because there's like there's bridges that go over the little fingerlings. True. And there's big old trees that hang over. I mean, you almost feel like you're in a movie. We stopped to take a picture. And then what's nice about Davis Island is you can have boats. So you can have a dock and a boat, a nice sized boat in that type of a neighborhood and atmosphere with that kind of housing. I mean, you're right.
You could not do that on Bayshore.
There's no question Davis Island's number 1. Before we get into my top 5, let me see this baby here.
Oh.
Josie.
I'd like to confer with her for my top 5 because she's quite.
We have said before that Josie is the most intelligent member of the boat parade. She adds an incredible amount to the show.
She has her swimmy suit on because we're going to a splash party.
There's gonna be a little splash party. Is there anything you want to say?
Which is in like 15 minutes, so we're gonna hustle this up.
So, what do you think about my top 5? Here's what I wrote down. What do you think?
I thought you didn't know the question yet.
Yikes!
Okay. Exposed. We do. She'll tell us the top 5 first because we don't want to just come up on the spot with top 5s. Want to make sure they're quality top 5. So she just told us.
Since we're talking about it, let's get into it then.
Let's get in. What's my question?
Ryan's.
I'm so shocked. Tell me, I'm blown.
Ryan's question is.
She's eating my answers.
What are the top 5, or in your opinion, what are some of the top 5?
No, there's no opinion. What I say is fact.
Tampa Bay area
Perfect.
summer Saturday activities.
Summer Saturday. Well,
Summer
obviously
Saturday
something.
Tampa
Let me tell you, anything with Josie in a bathing suit is top 5 for sure. Anything, absolutely anything. Look at this cutie. Say dada. Tell everyone. Say dada.
She just wants
She
to
just
taste
wants to
it.
lick it.
Yeah, it's
Ew.
because it also smells like coffee.
Probably.
Okay, I'm gonna hand the baby back. I just
Uh-oh.
wanted to say good morning. Mom can probably get her. That's okay. My beautiful mother-in-law is here visiting from the great state of Texas.
Tejas.
All right, so top 5.
Texas got smacked by Oklahoma in the college softball World Series.
Hey, bro, we're talking about Tampa.
I know. You weren't. You
All
were
right,
talking
focus.
about everything
Brought up
else.
Texas.
Yeah, we're Aggies, not Longhorns.
I
We don't
know.
really care. We actually are glad UT can suck it. All right, here we go.
Fun fact about Texas A&M: they're the only team to never lose to Vanderbilt in football in the SEC.
Wow.
In history, they also are the only team last year to beat Alabama.
Dig 'em.
Yes.
All right. Tampa Bay, let's go.
Anyway, this is top 5 summer activities. Is that what you said?
Summer, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go
Summer
from now
activities.
till football starts because that's really the summer because we have nothing to do but go to the Trop and feel slightly depressed at the quality of the stadium. So
Summer in Florida is anytime because we
That's
have
why
two
I
seasons.
added Saturday.
We have summer and hurricane season.
when
So-
even in hurricane season, I love it. I love hurricane season. I actually had a dream last night that it rained and it got cool, and then we were walking around and it was cold outside. Which
Well,
was
that'll
strange.
happen in January. It's June.
So top 5 summer activities, really just Florida activities because we keep our summers a long time. I think it was 96 yesterday, so it's definitely summer. And my number 6 honorable mention that we always have is going to be going to see a baseball game. Now, the reason it's number 6 or the honorable mention is 2 reasons. Number 1, it's the Trop. Number 2, it's in St. Pete. If there was a baseball stadium in Tampa, it would be number 1.
Bro, we just talked about this.
I
And
know.
yes, the Rays stadium, and they're pushing for it. Rob Manfred's, they're working on it. But we need to
We
go
are
to
not talking about this right now.
we need to go to a Tampa Tarpons game
We-
because that's a baseball stadium in Tampa and it's baseball and it's probably cheap.
That's true. But anyway, the Trop is my honorable mention. If you can get out, if you can make the 36-hour drive to the Trop to go see a baseball game,
Not an over exaggeration.
you definitely should. So my number 5 on our top 5 is going to be one word, armature. Now, the reason I say that is because Armature Works has become a very centric part of Tampa's social life, especially weekends
For
on the
sure.
night. There's a lot of good food in there, but it's a starting point of the Tampa Bay Riverwalk or an ending point. And so
They're expanding it.
it's great. Armature's great vibes. They have AstroTurf out there. There's seating. Great view of Tampa Bay as a city. Great place to watch the sunset.
Tampa Bay is not a city.
The Tampa Bay area.
You can see Tampa from there
You can see Tampa from there. And
because it's in Tampa.
because it's in Tampa, so you can see Tampa. But it's one of the best views of the skyline of Tampa. It's probably my number 3 spot to look at the skyline of Tampa Bay, so it's a great place to be. So that's going to be my number 5. My number 4 is going to be going to a concert at Amalie Arena in the summer. So Amalie will not be used for hockey very much over the summer. Obviously, hockey season will be over, but it's a great place to see a concert. It's the best concert venue in, I don't know, a long way. Some people would say the fairgrounds, but Amalie's the amount of money that's in the sound system and all the stuff at Amalie make it a primo place to see a concert.
heard
I
the
saw
seats
Bon
are
Jovi
really
there.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, we had some friends that went and saw Toto and Journey there,
Ooh.
and they said it was incredible. And so hold the line, I ain't wasting no more time.
I think the reason why I would give it the topping the fairgrounds is because getting to and leaving the fairgrounds while an event is going on is like one of the worst things you could ever do. It's like
it makes the whole night like drop a whole point.
where I live at, I have to drive by there and go north from by like where the exit is, and it's awful. Whenever there's like a concert and they're letting out, like I'll drive around and not go there at all.
I totally understand, babe. I did turn your mic off, so you don't have to hold it if you don't want to. Thanks. But anyway, I love Amalie Arena anyway. It's a great place to be. So concerts or like if they have like a BMX bike event or something, or like a motocross or something in Amalie, it's a great place to be, something like that. So that'll be fun if they have a WWE wrestling match, which they are actually in July, big one at Amalie. So it's a cool place to be. My number 3
I wonder if
spot.
McAfee will be there. We got to go see him.
We do got to go see him. Pat McAfee, shout out. Number 3 spot is going to be seeing a show at the Straz Center.
Ooh.
And then walking the Riverwalk afterwards. The thing is, now that we're in summer, the thing about summer in Florida is, unless you're naked, being outside is brutal under all circumstances. So, I feel like it's great place to be as a woman, especially here, because you can not wear that many clothes and it's socially acceptable. And my wife's cold a lot of the time anyway, so you can be outside. It's enjoyable, whatever. For us, being outside in 85 is already like, this is pretty bad, but 96 feels like 105 in Florida is brutal. So the only time you want to be outside in Florida is like, in the water or
3 days
late.
Ago in Tampa, it was like 98 with a heat index of like 112 or something like that.
Right. So these activities that I have here are summer activities. Most of them are inside, or they have something to do with water, because if you know anything about Tampa, you don't want to be outside. So the Riverwalk is an after Straz, so like 11 p.m. at night or 10 at night. You want to go for a beautiful stroll when it's only 82 degrees outside at 11 o'clock. So see a show. My wife and I love plays. We love shows, orchestra, stuff like that.
That's great.
So the Straz is a beautiful place to see that. It's a great atmosphere. We love the Straz. So my number 2, not surprising, summer activity is going to Busch Gardens. So I actually prefer Busch Gardens over Disney. And it's in Tampa.
I'm not sure anybody will agree with that. And it's your list, so I get it. That's just an extravagant statement.
So obviously, a lot of people are. My wife doesn't agree, but a lot of people are boycotting Disney right now anyway. But I think if you're an adult who doesn't have young kids who are old enough to enjoy Disney, you are deceiving yourself if you believe Disney is better than Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens has way better rides. It's less crowded.
As a whole, though?
As a whole, you get to see live African animals. The food's great. Busch Gardens is fun. It's not overcrowded with tourists. The rides are they have a brand new roller coaster that's the tallest, like in the South. The food
it's
is
like a wooden coaster too.
No, it's not. The Sheikah's not. The food.
That's not new.
Yeah, they just released. I read the.
No, bro. Sheikah's been out since like
2007. Then maybe it's called Tigris. Actually, I think is the new one. But anyway,
the new one is the wooden one though.
Is it some record-breaking wooden one then? Because I saw it was like special. It was something.
I can't remember the name right now. Not Tumba or whatever.
It's something like that though. It's something
like Gwazi.
That is what it is.
Is it?
It is Gwazi. How'd you pull that out of the air?
'Cause I'm lit, bro.
So Busch Gardens is the best amusement park in the South, in my personal opinion. And it's better than Disney World unless you have young kids who you get to watch enjoy the effects of Disney. Disney also is a trek from Tampa. It's like an hour, and it's a long day. And it's not exhilarating enough for me to enjoy.
Have you been to the Star Wars land?
That I haven't been to yet. And what's nice about Disney is they do have a lot of indoor rides. So in the summer, like Avatar, you have a long path to wait, but a lot of it's inside or in the shade. So Avatar and Star Wars being the new developments, they're billion-dollar developments or whatever. So it's cool, but I'm not big enough of a Star Wars fan to really care. And
I know this is off track, but I'll say this. If I could ride the Jurassic Park roller coaster, Velocicoaster, whatever it's called, at Islands of Adventure one time, or go to Busch Gardens all day, I would choose riding the Velocicoaster one time.
Well, yeah, if I could drive 5 minutes, ride it one time. I mean, Busch Gardens is 15 minutes from here. So my thing is like, this is a Tampa
I'm not saying
activity.
It's not a great activity. I'm just saying
this Busch Gardens, if it wasn't for my number one,
if
which
we
is
put a
number
poll,
one.
if we put a poll, what percentage of people do you think would agree with
Yeah,
you?
but that's because Disney has
Five?
Disney has a cult following, and they have an entire media following that we've all been following for 30 years, 40 years, some people longer than that since Disney's dominated the film industry. So people are cult loyal to Disney, not because of the parks. They're loyal to Disney because of the legacy Disney has in the film industry. So a lot of people be offended, but as an amusement park, the word amusement, being amused, an entertainment park, Busch Gardens being a 10-minute, 15-minute drive for some people to go into Tampa. You can go 2 times a week. You can be a park member.
We're getting a park hopper and going to Disney.
It is the best. It is the best Tampa Bay fun, adrenaline rushing entertainment you can have in Tampa.
Are you a water park guy?
No.
Water parks are gross.
Water parks are disgusting. It's a cesspool, but that's why. I mean, I guess you could put the water park near Busch Gardens on this list if you are a water park person. But Busch Gardens as a whole is my number 2 summer spot.
Right there.
And I do love the animals. I'm a big Africa guy anyway. So being able to see a zebra, and it's like a zoo, but then also in the same amusement park, I don't have to park hop. I don't have to sit next to a bunch of sweaty, yelling, screaming kids for 20 minutes to go to the next park. I can go in for 3 hours, ride some rides, get out. Love Busch Gardens. I don't care what y'all think about Disney. I'm not a big fan. Anyway, moving on to my number 1 summer activity in Tampa Bay. Funny enough, shout out to ourselves. It's going to be any sort of boat parade that you can get a part of in the summer in Tampa Bay. So in a couple weeks when we have, or 2 weeks when we have the Stanley Cup boat parade, when we win our 3rd consecutive Stanley Cup, that boat parade is going to be the best summer activity in Tampa. But anytime you can get out on a boat in the bay when there's other people there celebrating, that's going to be your number 1
4th of July
summer.
Coming up
4th
soon.
of July is going to be
fireworks down there. If you get a boat
up
for that, that's lit.
And just being out on the bay, man, being out there for sunset, being out there for all the things that happen, and the people. I love being a part of boat parades and stuff because the excitement everyone has on every boat, and you lose your voice screaming at other boats, and it's just like, it's a great thing to be a part of. So boat parades, anything in the bay, rent a jet ski, ride around, see the Sea-Doo guys, pretend to be one if that's your dream. Amazing. That's going to be my number 1.
When we win the Stanley Cup this year, 2020, and we have a 3rd boat parade, should we be in it or should we watch it?
That's really difficult because for your guys' sake, we want to watch it and get some good footage so that we can, but we want to be a part of it, obviously. What I will say, though, is very expensive and difficult to find a boat to rent for the boat. If you don't know someone who owns a boat, everybody's trying to get on the water for the boat parade. So it's like
prices would go up. That's why you have like friends that have a boat, or like there's this old rich Jewish guy. He supplies a lot of people's needs, and you can talk to him and he can hook us up.
Yeah, we have this old Jewish guy. It's a big sponsor of ours. We can't really brag about him. I mean, we will, but not brag about him a whole lot. But anyway,
all right,
we'll
run
talk
down
to him.
top 5. What you got real quick?
So top 5 was Armature, concert at Amalie, Straz and Riverwalk, Busch Gardens, and number 1 being any boat parade you can get a part of in the Tampa Bay area. That's my top 5 summer activities to do in the Tampa Bay area. Let us know if you feel like we missed any. I'll probably disagree if you comment on Disney. I'll dislike any comments about Disney personally from my personal account because he'll like it with the boat parade account. So
probably
maybe one day we'll talk about the discussion. Anyway, we're going to get into our last segment.
I feel very surprised knowing you, since it's your thing, that you did not either include golf or like
it's not golfing
shooting
season.
clays.
And neither of those is at the season. 96 degrees is not when you want to be on a golf course, and it's not when you want to go shooting. True. So golf would be my number 1 winter activity in Florida, the winter season, January to March, January to April. And then shooting would be my number 2 when it comes to winter activities. But when I just went and played golf like 3 weeks ago, and it was enjoyable. It wasn't too hot. Our tee time was like 7 something, and we had to leave at like 5 something in the morning or 6 something in the morning just to get to the tee time. Not a lot of people would consider that enjoyable. And then you go and you suck and you're like 16 over after 9, and then you're like, I'm never going to play golf again. Most people, golfing is not their big. These are stuff anyone
Ryan's
can
life. All right.
Story of my life.
Kaitlyn is going to do what she did last week, did a great job of it, and we are going to do trivia we're doing Tampa Bay sports teams again?
Tampa Bay sports
trivia.
Kaitlyn said she made these harder.
Well, yeah.
How many questions are there?
There's still 6 questions.
6 questions, each worth a point.
Yeah.
Unless there's a tie. Tiebreaker's worth a lot.
Are we buzzing in?
How do you guys want to do it?
We need to get a
I have
buzzer.
a scoreboard though going on now.
Yeah, we're gonna
There
buzz
it
in.
is.
Let's go.
You guys can't see it, but it's on the screen.
But she got it. Okay.
I got it.
I got it. All right, let's do it.
Okay, so we're buzzing in.
We're gonna buzz in.
Okay. All right. Okay, first question is, what is the nickname for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans?
Like the...
What is the nickname for the fans? Yes, Jared.
Is the crew acceptable?
That is not acceptable. Do you want me to give you a hint?
The fans. We watch the game. I'm not thinking about
When I hear this, I'm going to be upset.
Maybe, if you know it.
the red shirt boys.
Man.
It does, it's funny you say that. It does have to do with their colors.
The red gang.
Nope.
No. It's going to be, I'm trying to think of what the second word would be.
Red Nation.
Is it like the pewter people?
You are so close.
The Pewter Pirates.
Think about our team.
The Pewter Pirates.
The Buccaneers.
The Pewter Pirates.
It is the Pewter Pirates.
Bang, baby. Give me my money. I want all of it. Hold me back. You can suck it.
I'm so proud of you, babe.
Hey, you cast me the assist, but this ain't an assist game, baby. You don't get a point. I get a point. Give me my money.
I gave you your point. Yeah, so the Pewter Pirates, it became the nickname in 97 when the team actually revamped
That was the year I was born.
logo and their colors and everything.
That was the year I was born. Think about that.
It was in 97
We could stop right now. I win.
when they got their new logo, which is the flag, the red waving flag.
What month was it?
With the sabers. It doesn't say. The
It was probably
1997
June.
season, the Buccaneers worked with the NFL to develop a more marketable and intimidating look.
So now this year is the 25th anniversary of the Bucs as we know them.
Oh, I have another fun fact about that.
But okay.
It was actually Chris Berman. I don't know if... Do you know him? Yeah. He's an American sportscaster. He works
Is he an Aggie?
with Sports Center. He's
go
the
whoop?
one who nicknamed
tell you.
them the Pirates in Pewter Pants, which is a play on the opera The Pirates of Penzance. And then that became the nickname the Pewter Pirates.
I like it. I can't say that I've heard that before.
I definitely haven't, but I connected the dots faster than you did, so I
says-
want
But
my
that's
money.
great.
I want my point.
Chris
I want my
Berman.
money.
Yeah, Chris Berman.
Chris Berman is the guy. He hasn't in a while, but he would do home run derby, and somebody would hit it, and he would go back, 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 and then whenever he does, he'll do like a recap of all the Sunday NFL games real quick, and says a lot of. He has like trademark lines and things like that. You'll
He
recognize
goes,
his
whoop!
voice. Whoop, whoop. He'll do that. Like when somebody makes a move, he'll stick, and he'll go whoop when he jukes them.
Whoop! Whoop!
He started with Sports Center like a month after they started in 79.
Wow, the dude's old.
That's when they covered like nothing because
Yeah.
they couldn't.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, next question.
1 up.
Who played the first ever NFL game at Tampa Stadium? Who buzzed first? I didn't see.
Ryan did.
All
The
right,
Miami
Ryan, let's
Dolphins.
see it.
The Tampa Bay Bandits.
No.
No, it's the team we played, right? The away game.
Oh, who we played against?
Nope. Who
Oh.
played the first ever NFL game at Tampa
The
Stadium?
University of Florida.
The first ever NFL,
NFL
game.
game.
Oh. What?
Who
It wasn't
played
Tampa.
the NFL game?
The Miami
at-
Dolphins was a good guess. Was it the no, do they exist yet?
The Dolphins, yeah.
No, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't know.
I don't
Jacksonville
think you're
Jaguars.
gonna get it. I don't think neither of you are gonna
New
get
York
it.
Giants.
No.
It's
All right.
an NFL game.
Is it a team? It's the Bucs opponent that they played.
No,
Nope.
it's okay.
It wasn't a Tampa team at all.
The first NFL team.
Is it a
Okay.
current team in the NFL?
I don't know.
Question?
Yeah.
Was it the Super Bowl?
No, it was a preseason match.
Okay, and they just used it as a venue.
Yeah, basically.
The Chicago Bears.
I'll give you another hint. It was before the Tampa Bay Bucs were even leasing the stadium.
So we're pre-76.
It was in 68.
Well, that's Detroit Lions.
No.
San Francisco 49ers.
This was like year 2 of the NFL. My guess, instead of just yelling out every NFL team like Ryan does, my single guess is going to be the Green Bay Packers.
No.
All right. I want to guess then, since you just got to guess.
Fine, you get a guess. What?
I'm trying to think of what the...
We're bad.
I mean, I told you they were going to be hard.
I like this, though.
So it's got to be one of the early... I thought the Lions was a great guess because it's preseason, so it doesn't matter who sucks. Detroit.
No, not them. Sorry. But just as random as
the
that.
Steelers.
No. All right. The answer is Washington and Atlanta. August 10th, 1968. It was the first game in Tampa Stadium. Washington defeated Atlanta 16-14. At that time, Tampa Stadium only held 42,000.
That stadium was ugly.
Yeah, it was. I saw some pictures while I was researching. It was really small. It wasn't until 1975 that the stadium lease was approved for the
So 76
Bucs.
was the first season?
For the Bucs, yeah.
And then 75, part of that deal, 75, they started renovating it. They expanded it. And then it was ready for the team to start.
That's
no
amazing.
point.
Expanded
No point.
to 72,000.
Jeez, how did we guess all those teams and didn't get
in
one?
75.
72,000.
Up to 72,000 in 1975.
That's crazy. That's more than they have now.
Really?
I'm pretty sure Raymond James.
They probably
is
made the
65.
seats like more comfortable.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
probably.
it was
true.
probably like bench seating, like A&M
It
student
was.
section.
It was.
just bleachers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's like
All right,
sitting in the
cool.
outfield at Fenway.
All right.
Yeah, that was lit.
So nobody got a point for that one.
No.
No
Point to Kaitlyn. She found a hard question.
Ooh.
She found a question Jared didn't know the answer to.
You could put you on the scoreboard.
Maybe I could. Okay. I got to figure out how to do that, though. Question number 3.
Jesus.
Who was the first owner of the Tampa Bay Bucs? Yes, Jared.
Hugh Culverhouse.
That is correct.
That guy stinks.
More than Stu?
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'll tell you about him off air, but he did some dumb things. Dumb.
Is he still alive?
I don't know. I don't care if he is or if he's not. That guy stinks.
It was a long time ago. Oh, not that long
He
ago.
tried to draft what's his name? Bo Jackson.
Yo, I love Bo Jackson.
I think it was Bo Jackson.
Okay, so those were all Tampa Bucs questions.
Dang,
or
so
Tampa
we're tied
related.
1-1.
It's tied 1-1 right now.
Did you put the points in?
Yep, the points
So
are on
it's
the
showing
screen.
me topping him 1-1.
It's showing that you guys are tied 1-1.
All right, let's do this.
All right, the next questions are all different. Whatever. Okay. Who was the first team to hold spring training in St. Pete?
The Oakland A's.
No. First team to hold spring training in St. Petersburg.
The New
Yes.
York Yankees.
Yes. The New York Yankees.
I did know, but I know the A's have a training facility or whatever. But
they do.
yeah.
But the first team was the New York Yankees.
Where
They
are the
came to
A's
St.
at?
Petersburg in 1925, and they played at Waterfront Park.
Like where Al Lang Stadium is, probably.
Oakland also has a training headquarters over there.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't believe you on that. I'm like, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that the A's would be out in Arizona.
For spring training?
Yeah.
When it's 105 degrees?
There's a Cactus League and there's a whatever it's called, Sunshine League.
Well, we'll have to look it up. But anyway, that's my
Okay,
point.
I'm giving you your
Can
point.
look it up. I want to know.
We're 1-2 right, or 2-1, Ryan.
2-1 Ryan. How many to go? 2.
All right.
2 questions to
All
go.
right. 1 second. We have to look at this. Just look
All
up
right.
Oakland A's spring training.
Spring training stadium.
Yeah, it's in the city of Mesa, which is
Yep.
yeah, that's in Arizona. Yep.
Boom.
Mesa, Arizona.
Sorry, baby.
Good job, but you don't get a point for that. I get a point.
I
The
mean-
Phillies are in Clearwater.
That's probably what I'm thinking of. Because I know the Yankees are in St. Pete, but when we drive
Yankees
out
are
there,
in Tampa.
now they are?
Yes.
Their spring
Okay.
training's
The
in
giant
Tampa.
baseball stadium right across from Raymond James Stadium and all of the other baseball fields right around Raymond James
But
Stadium?
they started in St. Pete. When you drive across the bridge going to St. Pete, there's a little sign. If you go past there on the right hand side, that says like spring training Yankees or something like that. That's how I knew that.
Well, it was 1925.
I saw it, so I'm not going to forget it if I saw it. It's like a little
100 years.
No, I know.
It's literally
But
almost been 100
it's
years.
like a little plaque. No, but what it says on the plaque is like home of the Yankees spring training.
It could.
Okay,
I'm
It
not
still
arguing.
it still says
they were
that.
the first team, as the
But I
question
didn't know that
asked.
they moved to Tampa at some point.
Bro.
Who knows?
I don't care about some random stadium for the Yankees. Why do I freaking care about the Yankees? I don't even want to.
Steinbrenner.
I don't even want to know what the Yankees do in
Okay,
their
I have
spring
another
training.
question.
I'm up 2-1, right?
2-1, 2 to
It's
go.
2-1, 2 questions to go. Okay. The Tampa Bay Rowdies are the American professional soccer team based in St. Pete, Florida. Correct?
Yes.
What year was the club founded?
1982.
No.
Um,
Tampa Bay Rowdies, what year did they start?
1991.
No.
1974.
are you just throwing out numbers?
You better get quick then, boy.
Yes, Jared.
2009.
You're so close.
2007.
2008.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding.
That's a weak point. That's an amateur move.
I mean, he set you up. He said 2009, and then you guessed
You were
7.
1972.
Wow.
Jared had it even before he said it.
You're right. He deserves
All right,
that one.
so we're tied 2-2.
2-2. So this is our tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker
Can
question.
you tell us what sport it's in reference to? It better not be the Rays.
I can't tell you, actually,
Oh, wow.
because the question is, what sports
Oh gosh.
Hall of Fame is located in St. Pete, Florida? Oh, my gosh.
You're just
Yes,
smacking.
Ryan, what sport has a Hall of Fame? Do you want multiple choice? I have them.
Yes.
Instead of just throwing guesses around. Okay. Here's your multiple choice. Shuffleboard.
Crap.
I'm glad you didn't just start throwing guesses. Shuffleboard, baseball, swimming, or rollerblading. Hall of Fame in St. Pete, Florida.
I am gonna go. I already hit before she said, and I'm gonna go shuffleboard. Final answer.
No. Throw your guess.
It's not
Jared.
baseball.
No, baseball, that's the museum.
It can't.
isn't
I'm
Ybor.
helping you here, but it's not swimming either. It has to be rollerblading. If he doesn't pick rollerblading, I'm going rollerblading.
Well, that's the only answer that would be left. Swimming or rollerblading, Hall of Fame?
It says, what sport has a Hall of Fame located in St.
Bro,
Petersburg,
it's
Florida?
rollerblading. Just take the point. I'll let you win.
You know, that's awesome.
If it is rollerblading,
There's just no way that there's a rollerblading Hall of Fame.
I guess because there's not a lot of
Swimming.
rollerblading.
Neither of you are correct.
Baseball?
Okay, listen. I've never been there. Here's what Google says.
The Hall of Fame for baseball is in Cooperstown.
What the heck is that?
Okay, well, this is what it says.
Maybe amateur
The
baseball
Ted
Hall of Fame.
Williams Museum of Hitters Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Located
The
at
Hitters Hall of
Tropicana
Fame.
Field. It's,
I've been there before to this thing.
yeah?
Yes.
It's a memoir and tribute to the man himself, Ted Williams.
You're a loser. You should lose just because you've been there and you got the answer wrong.
I don't think it.
We'll
okay.
go on Tuesday. I'll show you.
We
Yeah, you guys
need
should
another
go.
question. We need a
if it's still there.
We need
I
a
guess. I
spare.
went when I was young.
We need a spare tiebreaker.
Well, yeah, obviously. I don't. You want me
You
to just
didn't,
make
you
one?
didn't
up?
prepare
No.
a provisional.
We'll
Ask us a question about my childhood.
carry it over to next week's trivia. So stay tuned. for
Golly,
that.
we're tied. This is awful. I can't go through this day being
Hold on,
tied.
let me think. Maybe I can come up with something. No.
We'll be waiting here for 60 more minutes trying to get the question. All right, guys. Looks
I
like
know,
our
this
trivia.
video's already gone so long.
We're now tied 2-2 in our trivia. Going to have to push that to next Saturday when we continue our trivia. Listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us on Sippin' on 7th, this Saturday morning broadcast. We'll have a Cuban...
Yes, Cuban review. Trying
Let me finish this real
as
quick.
many Cuban sandwiches in Tampa Bay as we can to find the best
And
one.
you'll hear about our first sponsor that we have going into that. So see us at Amalie tonight for the game. If you're there for the watch party, we will be there. And we appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe. We're coming up on 100 subscribers. When we do, we're going to do a massive giveaway. You're not going to want to miss it.
We are.
We really are. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Somebody's winning some money and maybe some other things. So please like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching. And we'll see you guys on Tuesday night at the Trop.
You know you can look me in the eye. It's all because of Jesus. He the reason I'm alive. I live by faith, by grace. You know that I ain't gotta strive. They told me tone it down.